Po Bags. Welcome back to another episode of For the Fans, where I am never ever going to tire of that line because it is so iconic. And this was another really great episode of Survivor. I cannot wait to talk about it. The season that just keeps on giving. Maybe not strategy, but it's giving iconic moments.
No, what do you mean not strategy? Last
strategy.
night was a full strategy night.
Well, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into all the things.
All the weeks have a lot of good strategy. Since Bond, the game's really picked. Like, it's been firing since Bondu left.
Honestly, since the merge, it has been by far the best season of the new era.
I liked last season a lot. That's a really interesting take, Kylie.
Yeah, like I don't think it's an interesting take. I think it's a very very popular take. I don't think it's a hot one.
I'm not sure. Like I think this goes back to season 38, 37. Like this is like the trust cluster season. It's really fun to see how there's this movement and people are one side, other it's been fun.
I mean, I really enjoyed the season that Gabler won outside of Gabler winning.
I don't think it was that great.
Jesse, Carla, Cody.
Sure, I like those three.
And I thought it had good gameplay. I thought it had good gameplay outside of that's why the Gabler win was just so confusing because it was like other people have been doing things and this man has just kind of been here. So I'm very confused.
What
I think we see here, and I'm gonna say, I think we're seeing people who are actually here to play. And I'm not gonna say that other people and other seasons don't have people, but they are not afraid to say that, hey, I need a resume and I want this as my move. How many of one of them have actually said that out loud in the confessional? They all want to win.
But resumes don't win the game though.
Oh, but I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that, but they all, I think, I'm not sure that every single season the entire cast thinks they could actually win. I always believe that there are people who are kind of there and they're there knowing they're floating.
Sheldon, we had a man on here that said he came to win 1 million hearts. I feel you. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
But that happens quite commonly. But I really think Liz thinks she has a chance. I think they all think they are playing great games and could win.
Let me counter that because I think that every season you have, like you said, there's some people that think they could win and some people that think that they're here for the journey, if you will. I mean, we heard about the journey a lot last season. We had 2 people quit. I think this season they happened to weed out the journey people pretty early and kept around all the game players.
And here's the crazy part about it. Jeff said there's no more villains. These are all villains to me. They're all evil.
It's actually so funny because and we're probably gonna get into it with one of our 4 topics. The vilification of Q is the funniest thing to me because they consider themselves so righteous. Therefore, Q has to be evil. And that's the funniest thing to me because, like you just said, they're all pretty villainous. So for you to say, I'm not a villain, that guy's a villain. It's just pretty
hell. Even Ben wrote his best friend Kenzie's name down last. They're all villains.
That was a throwaway vote.
I know, but still.
So I think that what is making this season interesting compared to the previous ones, for me, okay, this is an opinion, is the fact that these people genuinely don't like each other. And I think that it's the first season of the new era where we have actual friction. Venus does not like any of these people. I think Kenzie is tolerating about half of them. I think
the new era. I don't think the last time the season did not like each other was Island of the Idols.
Yeah.
That was, and even that was one of you could probably go back 4 or 5 seasons before there was another season where they didn't like each other. But You're right.
I think that's what's making it fun. Like
I don't know.
people are willing to make moves, and they're taking big swings, and they're saying funny things, and they're doing this other stuff that is making the show itself interesting to watch because they don't like each other and they don't care.
I think you're right, except for the fact that now with 6 people left, 50% of them actually do like each other, and so and that is the Sega love
every season. Oh, so every season you have pockets, right? You have like a couple that are friends, a couple that stay friends. Even in Island of the Idols, we had 2 that got married, are engaged, Elizabeth and Jack. They're engaged. Missy and Aaron stayed friends for a very long time. They're still friends.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think like Elaine is good friends with a lot of them. Janet hangs
there's a
out with
couple,
a lot of them.
but as a whole, no.
And I mean, especially when like last season with 45, we're getting pictures of them as an entire cast together in the middle of the season. Like, I thought 45 was a very good season. I think D is the best winner that we have had in the new era. However, the season as a whole, to me, isn't as interesting as this season is because I am liking the drama, and I'm liking the drama that is also taking place outside of the show. Like, I like Q just unhinged with these cameos that he's
what a
putting out.
character.
Like, he's such a great character.
Big mistake, Kylie.
Big mistake.
Big mistake.
So,
Loving
Kylie, let me ask you, because you
right.
just said D's your favorite winner. What happens when Charlie wins?
I don't think anybody that is left in the game this season has played the same level of a game that D
was
played
pretty masterful.
Huh?
D was pretty masterful.
Yeah.
D was pretty masterful in the way she played Austin. Fantastic.
Played a pretty flawless game that was definitely more towards the top tier.
Well,
and
okay.
If
Charlie was flawless, she was focused on seafood for a very long time for no reason.
I said it's a flawless game.
But what has Charlie done wrong? Like to me, Charlie's playing a flawless game as well.
I think if Charlie wins, then Charlie will be a good winner.
Look, the season's not over. When we see him backstab Maria, I think you
might. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, my mouse is dead for a minute. All right. Immediately, we go back to the beach, and the hunt is on. We know Tiffany had an idol. They don't know that Hunter got voted out with an idol for sure because nobody ever saw it. They probably searched after Hunter left too, but we know Tiffany had an idol. And so it has to be back out here. We need to go find it. And everyone, with the exception of Liz, is out looking for the idol.
I think this is so interesting because, like, I thought that the idol only gets like back in play if they play it, but it seems to be if you know about it is back in play. So, like, even though as they're hunting for it, Venus gets it and she goes out with it. I don't know if that one's gonna come back because they didn't know about it. Same thing with Hunter.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I would have to do the research, but I've always thought if there's an idol that was in game play, whether it is used or not, and the person is voted out with it, it goes back into the game.
There's definitely not 2 idols floating around that beach.
There might be.
There might be, and they don't find the other one. Therefore, they don't ever include it in the game footage because why show us something that doesn't come to fruition?
Alternatively, the idea was there are 3 total idols because of 3 tribes plus 1 extra idol for the merge. So right now, nobody in Merge Land has found an idol until Venus. So that might be Merge idol. That might be the way they think about it. So the entire game has 4 total idols.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the hunt, they get looking. And they're turning. I like how Kenzie's up at the crack of dawn and she's like, well, first off, Kenzie was left out the vote. And so she's like, well, time to get hunting because I don't know how much longer I have left in this game if you're leaving me out of votes. And so it is time to get going. And then like Maria's like, I didn't plan on looking, but here I am. It is time for us to get going.
Yeah. So one thing that Kenzie said last night in the episode that I think also is something that is making this season interesting to me is these have not all been unanimous votes. Like we saw an unintentional split vote between Hunter and Q. We see, Venus, Liz, and Kenzie left out on the vote on Tiffany. I like that we're not all just voting together. And so, Kenzie's like, what the hell, y'all? Like, I would have voted with you if you just would have told me. Well, they don't have to tell you because they don't want you to have credit for it. So it's okay. And future Survivor players, I hope that they realize it's okay to not include everybody. And by the flip, which I think Kenzie realizes it, if you're not included, then you've got some things to figure out.
So then why would you say to future Survivor players, don't include everyone if you don't want people to be onto the scent that you're going to be getting them?
Huh?
So Kenzie is on the outs.
Obviously, they're all going to try to be getting each other. That's the
so why does Kenzie feel like she's on the outs? Because she was left out the vote.
Well, it's not just Kenzie. Kenzie was left out. Liz was left out. Venus was left out.
But Liz and Venus are well aware they're on the outs, right? So Kenzie thought she was on the in. But by leaving her out of the vote, she now feels that she needs to make a move, a la, it's time to hunt for the idol. If you bring Kenzie in on the vote, and you're right about your original assessment, by Kenzie being in on the vote, this is no longer like a Maria move. This is now like a Kenzie move because she had brought it up originally. You're 100% right about that. That's why you leave her out. But by leaving her out, it now has risen the radar that I might be in danger, which is why you would want to keep them in the loop. And then
you're at the final 7. Not everybody can be in the loop. It's okay if they're not.
I have to say, I did not get the sense from Kenzie of fear. I didn't get the sense that she was worried for her own life in the game. I certainly got the sense that she wished that she would have been aware of what was going on, but I wasn't feeling from her that, oh, my game is over and I need to figure
I'm next.
And I think that's part of, to me at least, what's actually intriguing about this season is that we've had votes where Kenzie sided with these people, then those people, then I think it is so malleable in the way it's been going that she realizes, yeah, maybe I was on the outs last night, but tonight I'm back in, or I'll be able to figure right. And I'm okay with that. I have to say that if I were a player in Survivor, that type of a gameplay terrifies me. Absolute, because it's so hard to control.
I think it's interesting that's what you took from it, because what I took from her situation was that I was not a part of this move. I now need to recognize who made the move, and it is time for me to probably clip that person, because this person has now begatted the biggest move in the game. I need to take them out, so therefore that move is not, if you will, as you were talking about a minute ago, on their resume. Because now all of a sudden Maria has become the biggest target out here, but it's because of the move and leaving her and Venus out that they start talking about her.
Certainly, but I think we've heard her talk about Maria as being a target previously. In fact, I think we've had Tiff, no?
Tiffany.
Tiffany talked about it with Kenzie. But my point is that I don't think that she was so uncomfortable with it, because she clearly feels like she has some type of a working relationship with Charlie and has the ability to actually talk to him openly about this as well.
Because Charlie put all of the onus on Maria as to why she was left out.
Exactly. Yes.
And
that's part of the brilliance of Charlie, that he is sowing the seeds so well that he is ready to make a move when it's his choice and it is his
when he's ready to. And I agree with you. I agree with you 100% on that. But I think that was her saying that, Venus says it multiple times. She's the kingpin in terms of Maria. By them being the reason I say that is because by them being left out of the vote, it then made it very clear that who is calling the shots. And like you said, Charlie did a masterclass saying, look, man, I don't know what happened. I just had to go with what was told. And Kingpin Maria was like, leave them out. And I was like, okay. And now you guys are left out.
I have to say, it is brilliant. This is a guy who's just won 2 immunity. He on paper should be the one. His vote has gone his way every single time. He is the one that should be the biggest target. But he has been able to so easily and do this. But I have to say, one of the benefits that Charlie has that sadly Venus doesn't have is that Charlie is so likable. It is hard not to believe him, not to look into. He's a good guy. So it makes his ability to actually make a move like this and make people trust him and be able to be a little bit more vulnerable and put the blame on Maria as, no, this isn't super strategic. I'm thinking strategically, but I'm doing it because I'm scared of her too. We're in the same boat.
We're both scared of her. Look at how scary she is. Look how scary she is. And they're like, she is scary. Kingpin, she's got to go next. Yeah. And now she's like, yes, she does. And it will be at 6.
So let's get into a little bit more of like the Charlie pinning things on Maria in a minute. And let's talk about Venus on her idol search.
Oh my God.
So, you know, we saw in Nami originally, like Venus spent a lot of time out there by herself in the woods searching for an idol at the beginning. As she says, she knows where Randon found his idol. And so she's able to use this and like, hey, you know what? I'm always by myself. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. And I know where to search. And she manages to find the idol. Everybody else is looking. And what I loved about what she does is she's like, I cannot wait to open this parchment, but I do not want to open this in front of people. And so I'm going to continue to search and they're never going to know.
Maybe the smartest thing she did all season.
Yeah,
it was short-lived.
Yeah.
It was smart. She was really excited. I mean, she even states how it's hard to contain the excitement. But yeah, fantastic move by Venus to slightly get it and then continue to look. Slight problem. And now this is a tip for if anyone were to be watching this and then play Survivor. If you're going to fake search, you got to search with the same fervor as when you were really searching. Okay? Kenzie sussed pretty quickly that Venus wasn't actually looking. She didn't.
But I don't think it was out of the ordinary for Venus. I think it plays into her personality of like, yeah, Venus doesn't care that much. Like, she's not going to put forth the time to search for it because I'm like, girl, dig. And Venus is like, you know.
I think Kenzie sussed the fact that she wasn't looking hard, but I think Kenzie didn't suss that she had an idol. So that's the reason why she didn't look hard.
But that's where the problem is, right? Is that they already don't like Venus nor believe that she's going to do anything with any kind of gusto. But when she was looking, she was actually like reaching her hand and stuff. They saw that, but then she stopped doing it. So they're like, man, because they don't believe in Venus. They don't believe that that's any kind of different belief of what Venus would be doing, right? That's a personality trait that they felt like Venus.
Yeah. I mean, I think for some people, like, to me, and you know, it'll be interesting to hear whenever they can talk about it after the season. To me, I think that is probably what is ultimately Jim's downfall, was because she wasn't digging like everybody else was digging, and she wasn't searching like everybody else was searching. And to me, it was a like, woo, 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 there's something going on here. But whereas with Venus, this plays into her personality. And so I think, you know, like if Hunter is out there and he stops looking, yeah, that bitch has it. But
that's what I'm saying.
I think it's dependent on your personality here.
You gotta, what I'm getting at is keep the same energy that you were doing before the same once you find it. You gotta have that energy, whatever that may have been. And like it seemed like Venus had a little bit more energy, but they, like I said, they don't care about Venus at all. Yeah. So she could have been laying down in the shelter. She could have had a forklift out there and then looking for the idol. And then she stopped. They'd be like, oh, look at Venus giving up on this thing. And then they would have never said because she found it. They would have been like, look, as expected, Venus quit.
Typical Venus. Venus. Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else to say about this idol? Like, I was like, okay, mother, Venus.
Ooh, I
really felt like this episode, I was like, she's turning it around a little bit. Like, she's having these good conversations with Kenzie. She's kind of having this open conversation with Charlie. Like, maybe she is actually getting a little bit of traction. Do I think she's going to win at this point? No. But I was like, you know, maybe she's getting her footing in the game here at the final 7. a little late, but kind of redeeming for her.
That's interesting that you thought that she might have been getting her footing.
Yeah.
I felt like she was, a baby that just took her first steps. And then she ended up falling down very quickly.
I just thought that this is an unexpected treat in terms of Venus finding the idol. This is something that none of them would ever believe, but here she is. That's super nice.
Well, look, I did have some hope that she would actually be able to do something fun with this idol. And maybe, yes, somehow she would be able to get a little bit of respect, get a little bit of a move under her belt. But
you think, wait, hold on, Sheldon. You think she would have garnered some respect had she done like a move with it?
Yeah. For sure.
I don't.
Why not?
I don't think so amongst this cast.
I think Venus is literally at the bottom of the bottom. She had nowhere to go but up. And so if she pulls off a big move, whether it is because Venus kind of snaps when she snaps back on you in council, Tiffany's like, "Ooh, you ate." Like, I think that if she had idled Maria out of the game, then I do think Venus gains a little bit of traction. Not necessarily with her original Nami. Soda don't care, Tevin don't care, Hunter don't care, but maybe Tiffany does. Maybe Maria's like, okay, she's done something here. So she can't do it.
I mean, I very much disagree. I think Venus is one of the few players that we've seen in not just in the new era, in a long time, that is drawing so dead. I've never seen someone have gone this deep.
Well, she died at the end of the game.
But she was. I felt like she was. Like I said, I have not seen someone in I don't know how long look this far behind.
But I guess like the difference in this season is in previous seasons she would never have been voted out because
correct.
Of
I thought it was very interesting.
Right?
Well, hold on. I want to get to that. Would she still not have been voted out in this season if they just did not like her so much? Because there's not just a.
Didn't we just say nobody likes anybody?
No. It's deeper because they collectively don't like Venus, and Venus doesn't like any of them.
I don't think Maria likes her. I don't think the rest.
I don't think Q likes her. I don't think Ben likes her. Charlie's fine.
Who knows about Ben? I've never seen anyone get a purple edit into the final six because this man literally had one confessional last night. There are only 6 other people to tell the story. One confessional.
He said one smart thing at Tribal Council.
I'm not saying that. I think Ben is a fine person. I think he is playing a fine game, but they don't care to put him on the screen.
Heather from 41 also had this deep of a purple edit.
Yeah, that is true. She did.
But she deserved better because I think she played a far better game.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but the difference is with Heather. I think Heather got a purple edit because Erica wins, and her and Erica, in terms of popping on TV, are similar. And whenever they play a similar game and one of them ends up winning, you can't highlight both of them. Yeah. So they have to highlight Erica a little bit more than Heather. But unfortunately, I don't think Erica is great TV. So sorry, Heather. You drew the short end of the straw.
And that's fair. So like we don't see a lot of Ben, but like it's the reason I say that about Venus, because I know we're going to probably talk about Venus more a little bit later, but they just seem to not like her like as an individual. They've been talking about getting rid of her just on GP, not because she's running the game, not because she's a threat, but because we don't like her.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that is, the case for also Q for the last 3 episodes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think that's the case about Q since whoever knows how long. They hate Q. Q is like yuck to them.
3-4 episodes, yeah.
And my favorite part about Q is he doesn't give a shit. He knows, and he doesn't care. He's still going ahead and doing what he needs to do.
It's great. It's great.
I love Q.
All right.
Can we talk about Charlie in this situation, because Charlie comes back from the whole Tiffany thing, and he's like, did I let Maria get too much credit? Like, I wanted her to get credit, but like, was it too much? Because he wanted someone in front of him, but I don't know if he wanted Maria this far in front of him.
Yeah, so that brings us to our second point of the night, turning on your ally. And this is something that we have been hearing from Kenzie, like even before Kenzie, though. Let me back it up even further. We hear it like episode 2 from Tevin when he's like, you know what? If we go to tribal council, I know everybody wants Venus out, but I need to get Soda out. Because Soda, you know, she has too good of a personality. She's friends with everybody. She's having all these conversations. Like, I got to get rid of her. I know that we're close, but she has to go to. Okay. Like, we get that literally in like episode 2 or 3. And, you know, we're going to see it play out come merge. And then guess what? Tevin, you got to go because Liz wants that move under her credit. And we know Liz and Tevin and Hunter were very close. And so, like, we are seeing this trend here. And, you know, Kenzie with Tiffany. Hey, I have got to cut Tiffany, which I don't think is necessarily a wrong move. It's a timing move. But, you know, I've got to cut Tiffany because that is my resume point. Like, I got my number one ally out. And I think this is like such a misguided thing that is the narrative in the new era. Like, we see it with Cody and Jesse. We see it with Marianne and Omer. Like, you don't necessarily have to turn on your number one ally just for fun. You may have to turn on your number one ally when the numbers make sense.
I don't think this is a...
So where we don't see it very successfully with Kenzie because she backtracks, it doesn't work out well for Tevin. It didn't work out well whenever, you know, Soda, obviously, she's a member of the jury. The one person that we're seeing it be semi-successful for is Charlie. And, you know, you've both talked about how Charlie is, you know, planting these seeds. And he's planting the seeds in order to make a move when it's right for him. 1 or 2 rounds from now. But I need it to be out there. And they need to know that I'm willing to do this. But right now, it's a pretty good shield for me.
I don't know if this is a function of the new era. I think this is a function of competition reality TV as of late. When we're watching, we cover Big Brother on the show, and the amount of people that wanted to turn on their showmans, interesting to me over the last few years. We're watching this same type of idea. Like, we're tight to the plan is to turn on my ally. I don't understand what. Now, I understand needing to differentiate your game. I get that. But why cut the person that's like super loyal to you? I've played games with Sheldon online, and I'm not going to turn on Sheldon. Sheldon's not going to turn on me because in a game where you can trust no one, having a small bastion out there that I know that this is one person I could probably trust pretty well. That's what I want to do. Tiffany trusts Q, has no intention on turning on Q. Q betrays her, and then now Q's on the back foot the whole time. Why is this the move now?
I don't know if this is a reality TV thing, because I don't think I watch enough reality TV. But I do think it goes back in this particular game, in this particular season, to the fact that I don't think they like each other. So even if they are allies, I think all of them are a little bit trepidatious with one another and aren't really fully embedded in the trust. Kenzie's ability to just say, yeah, I'm going to have to flip on Tiffany. Like it was too easy for her to say it. Her saying, I know she'll do it. So that means these people are constantly having these thoughts in their minds of, if I have to do it before her, because I don't want to look like the fool. And I wonder if there's a little bit of that also going on.
So I don't necessarily think it's a terrible idea, but I think it is when you do it and how you do it. Because if you are reading it correctly, and I think in this scenario, Kenzie is probably reading it correctly. Like if she gets to the final, 4 with Tiffany, and Tiffany has the opportunity to make fire and they both end up there together, I think Tiffany beats Kenzie. So is Kenzie wrong for wanting to vote out Tiffany? No, but she just made the move, what she wanted to do, whenever there's 9 people left in the game. That's way too soon to do it. Like you've got someone that you can trust and that you can trust. And so, and then by the same token, I think Charlie, in listening to the narrative on the beach, because I was a little shocked last night when everybody, they are painting Maria by far as the bigger threat. Like, oh, I don't think Charlie completely understands the game, was basically a confessional from Kenzie. And I was like, oh, wow. I mean, there is,
strong misread. Huh? Strong misread.
Yeah, I mean, but yes and no. I mean, there's a difference between underestimating somebody and you playing it off so well that you are flying under the radar that they're not going to give you credit if you get to the end. So, at a certain point in time, Charlie is going to have to turn it up. And that turning up is probably going to be where he has to turn on Maria. And I think he's got this right read where he has to start planting the seeds to get Maria out. Because from what everyone is saying, if they get to the end together, just based on gameplay and based on the things people are saying, I think Maria beats Charlie.
It sounds a little bit like what you're saying is final tribal council doesn't matter. Like final, or I should say something differently. Final tribal council could only ruin your game. It can't win your game. And the only way that you can get into final tribal council and win your game is if you have an already established, already knowing resume that people could see.
I don't necessarily think that, but I think it's very, very important to know who you're going up against and if you can beat that person. And so, like I said, I think Charlie has the right read. He needs to get rid of Maria. I think, Charlie has a much better chance of winning against literally everybody else, but Maria can't be there. I think Kenzie has the right read in that I cannot sit at the end with me, Tiffany, and somebody else. Tiffany will beat me head to head.
The thing I don't get is like you mentioned, timing, right? When she started talking about getting Tiffany, we're at 9. That is so far away.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's too soon.
But you see, Kevin, to me, part of that early striking is a byproduct of idols, advantages. They are so afraid of what these wild cards could do to their game that they can't wait until 5 to do the move that they need to do. They need to do it earlier.
Well, even further than that, it's because Final Four fire making sucks. Because you have to do it before then too. You can't let them get to 4. You don't have a chance.
There's very little real estate.
Really, really close. So I need to make this move at 6, 7, 8, and so that is.
You have 3 tribals to make the move. You have 8, 7, 6, 5.
Yeah, and I think Kenzie had the right idea in wanting to turn on Tiff, but I think she needed to do it like this episode. You know what I mean?
One thing though is that Kylie, you said it being a part of the new era. I went back real quick. I don't think it's a big new era thing. I think it's a 43 thing, 43 to now. Because if you look at 41, though Shan was not with Ricard after the "give me back my idol" situation, Shan was with Liana or whatever her name was. Deshawn was with Danny. Heather was an ally of Erica.
Dan and Ricard did turn on each other.
No. I know, but they started having friction with the "give me back my advantage." That's when that rift happened. It was not like we're going to continue to ride together. It was like that from the moment that happened, Shan's like, I need to go look for other options out here. And so her and Liana tight together. Danny and Deshawn tight together. Heather and Erica, that's 41. And 42, you have, Omer and Marianne for sure, but then you have Mike and Jonathan tight together. You had Lindsay tight with the 2 of them. So you had people that were continuing to work together and wanting to stay together deep. Whereas in 43, Jesse, Cody, the tightest break up. Cassidy and Erica and James.
Carla.
Tight. Carla, yeah, my bad. Carla and James, tight. She's like, I'm willing to flip. I think 43 really, like you just said, set the tone on I need to make the move to turn on my ally. And then you watch Carolyn, Carson, and Yam not do it when that was happening over there, and you saw how much deeper they got as a group. I hope as you continue to watch Survivor, we come away from the narrative that it's best to turn on your ally, because it's been proven that if you don't, it's probably better for you.
I would never do it, but that's just because I'm a loser and I'm scared to take the
I mean, once again, though, I mean, I think, yes, it is great if you are the person that ends up winning. So great for Jam Jam. He doesn't turn on Carson and Carolyn. Great for Wendell. He didn't turn on Dom. Not right for Dom. Not right for Carolyn. You know what I mean? I think if you know and you have an understanding of the jury and how they are thinking and what the narrative is on the beach, then if you feel like I'm not going to beat this person, then it is right to turn on them at the right time. And that is the big question mark of Survivor. That is that is the linchpin. And that is the thing of like, when do I do it? When do I make this move? Because at a certain point in time, it is too late. And at a certain point in time, for all but one person, it's too early.
Yeah. I just think it's so crazy that Kenzie was thinking about it so far in advance.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was so crazy to me. But like in this situation now, here we are. Charlie's like, we got to get rid of Maria. Now is the time. He's right. Maria's probably not going to comp out. But now's the time to do it.
Yeah. I mean, Maria is, as we see in this episode, she's now won 2 immunity challenges. I've won 2 immunity challenges. We've been in the same, we were both in the 6, and we both made these same moves. We've made them together. So yeah, there's got to be something that distinguishes me from her. And so I think Charlie is doing it the right way, because he's waiting till the right moment. He's not just like blatantly, let's vote out Maria, but he's doing these things of like, I cannot believe that, she did this to you, Kenzie, that she left you out of this vote. And I didn't want to do that. He's dropping the little seeds that I think are good. So we'll see, because now we're at final 6, and I don't think it's too early to do it at final 6. I think it's a great time to do it. All right, moving on. Rock, paper, scissors, y'all. This moment is everything. We have the moment last week where Q denies Liz of the Applebee's. And I was like, this is so funny. This was great television. Like, this cannot be topped. Maria said
it wasn't topped.
Not the full explosion, but Maria is like, hold the burger, Q, because I got something to say here. And so we see Maria win this really, really close immunity challenge. And with it, she wins reward. And she gets to choose 2 other people to enjoy some pizza from Fiji with her. And she quickly chooses Ben. I don't think anyone's got a problem with her choosing Ben.
Wait, I want you to back up for a second. She chooses Ben and says, because he's withering away. And I want to make sure everyone has some sustenance.
Yeah. But oh Ben. And so I think everybody's like, okay, cool. She chooses Ben.
Ben's withering away. She's right. Let's get him some food.
I was like, there is no way she is not choosing Liz. There's no way.
Well, I mean, if she's picking people based on them withering away, I thought she was going to choose Charlie. I thought there was no way she was not going to choose Charlie. And then Charlie says, I'm going to take myself out of it.
Not only did Charlie say that, Charlie was doing the no, don't do this. Don't do me.
And side note, brilliant. I don't know if it was intentional, but brilliant by Charlie, because my gosh, the backlash from this.
So Charlie says, take me out the running. And then, like you said, Kylie, I then at that point said, There's no way she's not choosing Liz here because I thought for sure it was going to be Charlie. That's her number one ally. Makes sense. Oh, we're not going to have a secret party? Sounds good. It's going to be Ben and Liz.
Da, 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 da. The pause. I mean, even Jeff is like, I've never seen this before. In all of these seasons, I've never seen anyone take so long to decide.
She says, sell me on it.
Maria,
the three of you sell me on it.
Not only does she not just choose somebody and just make a decision, you convince me why you deserve to go. And I would be Venus here. No, ma'am. I am not going to beg you for some fucking pizza. I'm not going to do it.
So then the two that are begging, what are you guys thinking? Q says, I've lost some food.
I'm sorry, folks. This whole thing was just nuts. I think that Maria lost her game here.
No.
Yes. I think the way she made all of these people feel, the way that she was indecisive, the way it was so clear that it should have just gone to Liz. And if she wanted it to be to be Q, she should have just said Q and called it. Like, it was just too.
Yeah, you literally just say, hey, I'm going to take Ben because he's really been struggling out here.
And Q because he took me last time.
Yeah, and Q took me last time. I feel like I need to repay him. You just do it and you make the decision. But the fact that she pauses and she makes them argue it out. And then she's like, okay, everyone has, stated their case. Venus, you're out. It's funny because once again, Venus has been shit on all season and I feel bad for her as a person. I'm loving it as watching her as a TV character. Like this is another funny moment where Venus is once again just nobody cares about Venus either.
But you two said that she lost her game here. I think she lost her game when she came back from the Tiffany move because it was such a good move that it just made her. Like Charlie made sure he threw salt in that game.
Oh, I think that may have stuck the knife in. This twist.
This is the turn. This is the turn. Yeah. That's all I'm arguing is that she definitely she's not going to win the game now, but it was that move and then coupled with this move.
And so once again, instead of Maria just making a decision, rock paper scissors.
Rock paper scissors for it. Rock go ahead and rock paper scissors for it.
And they play rock, paper, scissors. Q comes out on top. Me and my husband skip back and watch this 3 or 4 times. And what sent us and what made the moment completely over the top is not only does Q win, he actually covers her fist with
paper covers rock. You can't help yourself, Kylie. When someone says rock, paper, scissors, and then scissors, you got to cut the paper. Rock, paper, scissors.
That would have been the only thing that would have made it better is if he would have either gotten to A, crush the scissors, or B, cut her paper. At least it was paper covering rock. But when he actually physically covers her rock fist, dead. It was
a natural
funny.
thing. I get it.
I mean, snorted. I snorted, laughed. It was so funny. I was like, this woman, she is going to have a full-on breakdown right here. Like she already had one, and this is it. We are going to see our first person evacuated from the beach for almost murdering a man.
Listen, here's the thing.
With her rock.
This is the thing I don't understand.
Rock.
So, if you notice, Kenzie and Charlie are not really that upset about this.
No. Because I think they actually have hearts, and they actually are like, yeah, just take Liz. She needs to eat.
No. They're not upset.
No.
They're not upset, and let me tell you why. And this is the thing that I think we forget. Liz said last couple days ago, last week for us, I hate all of you. And she went on her rampage, on her rant. Though she targeted Q. She talked about how she didn't like any of them. So when I sit here and I have to pick someone for a reward, you have openly stated you don't like me. Why would I take you? Why does this sound fun for me?
And, after they go on the reward and they come back and Maria sits down with them, she even says, like, Liz, you wouldn't have chosen me. And
Correct.
so, it is... I do not buy into the whole, the whole Twitter narrative of like, oh, well, Liz is just so entitled, thinking that she deserves to go on Survivor. I don't think Liz is entitled, but I do think that Liz expects them to take her just based on the fact that she has allergies. And I think she is mistaken. I don't think she is entitled, but I do think she's mistaken. They don't give a damn.
Kylie, I want to talk to you directly. I think she's Sheldon, because Sheldon's like the humanity of it, blah, blah. I think Liz thinks that they would think because she hasn't eaten, she deserves to eat. And I understand that on the human aspect, but none of them give a damn about this human aspect of it, because we're playing a game. And like you said to me, Kylie, last week, they're not going to let you die. And they all understand that. And so they're like, you know what?
Now. You got rights
Correct.
now.
You got rights now. So you're not going to die. So no,
she's sharing with Venus.
And you don't get to go on a reward. You gotta want us to like you. I don't like you. You would have not taken me. You would have not taken Q. Why in the world do you expect us to take you just because the quote unquote human thing to do is to let you eat some other shit? We're here for playing a game. If you should be playing the game, then
important to me to cultivate this relationship with Q, who is a bit unstable, than to take you.
Forget the unstable part. I have him in my pocket. I'm going to keep this man fed because he's taking care of me. I'm gonna take care of him. Liz, do nothing for me.
So why did she rock, paper, scissors it and not just say Q, let's go?
Because she didn't want to look like a bad person.
She looked worse to me like that.
I think she looked way worse. Just not making the decision.
Do you see how she was taking forever to make the decision? It's because I'm sure she was trying to figure out, how do I not just outwardly pick you and not look like an asshole? But I have no interest in actually picking Liz.
Yeah. Like, Liz, you are only in the running because I do have a little bit of humanity.
Exactly. Thank you, Kylie. Last week, Q has none, and that's why you were not even an option. Maria offered to give up her spot, and he said no. Kenzie gave up her spot, and he said no. That man's here to play a game. Only play a game. Me, Maria, I have a little bit of humanity, but I don't really want to go with you either.
Isn't there another way to look at this? And that's, hey, I already have Q. And I have a really nice excuse to give Liz some lunch, and maybe I can make relationship.
No, we're at 7. The feelings are pretty locked in. It is more important to keep the people with you that are with you than to try to.
You feel like me, Charlie, Ben are locked in. The only person that matters is Q. He's 4. 4 is majority, and guess what? Q is mine. Charlie is mine. This is how Maria is thinking. You know what I mean? Like, Maria is like, why in the world would I choose Liz or Venus, who are never for me?
Yeah.
So
look, I get it.
And it's another great TV moment.
I get it. I fully agree with you. I would still have given it to Liz. If I would not. I would. I wouldn't be able not to.
If I were to have done anything, I would have been like, Kenzie, Liz, Venus, y'all go eat some pizza. The 4 of us are going to be back on the beach.
Let alone the fact that how much is production doing this effort to feed Liz? We got popcorn. We got Twizzlers. We have gluten-free pizza. Never had gluten-free pizza before.
Guess what?
What?
Twizzlers has gluten.
It wasn't Twizzlers. It was just some licorice. Relax, guys. But
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that I highly doubt any bit of gluten is going to kill Liz. It probably just makes her not feel good. I don't think she's like deathly allergic, because licorice does have gluten.
So it's just the thing that's just so interesting to me is that I don't know why Liz thinks, not even that she deserves to go, but that they would even consider picking her, when, as they've stated, you would not have picked me. If you, Liz, did not make it seem so obvious that you wouldn't have picked them, then maybe you would be in the running. But they all know you wouldn't, so you're not even in the running. So I go back to what Sheldon said, pick her and then try to build a relationship here. Why am I wasting my time?
Yeah. Sorry, Liz.
I'm asking you, Sheldon, why am I wasting my time? If you have already shown everything that you're not working with me, you have no interest in working with me, and you have not tried to this point. Today, I'm going to take you to some dinner and then hope that I can woo you and change your mind.
I think the only reason is that it is actually a way to be human and not be a game bot. And that's it.
What's wrong with being a game bot? We're here for 26 days to play a game.
The problem is sometimes if you're a game bot, you don't get the votes at the end in jury. And
Yeah,
they don't see you as,
I think you're right there. I think I can see it in both ways. I think if I am in the game of Survivor and I am not trying to make good television, because I'm going to be honest, y'all, I played these damn online games for zero money, and the ones that I know are being made into episodes, I'm going to choose to make a good episode over making the best decision for my game. But if I am on the game of Survivor and I'm playing for $1 million, I'm taking Liz's ass, okay? I'm going to, because so many times, you're right, Sheldon, it does come down to, hey, if I get to the end, maybe Liz is going to vote for me because of this reason.
Oh, Kylie, here's my only problem.
This is literally how Wendell wins the game over Dom, because he remembered Sebastian's seashell. Okay, so doing the humanity thing does win the game sometimes, but
that's not what I was going to say, though.
Who gives a fuck about Liz?
I'm with you for certain people. I don't think Liz, we're talking about Liz's one vote here, but I don't think anyone else is. If, let's say, Charlie is withering away and Maria wasn't close to Charlie. Charlie seems to have a lot of other friends, right? And the same thing with what I've been, and that's what it is. That's what it is. Hashtag who gives a fuck about Liz? And that's kind of what the problem is that none of them gave two shits about Liz. So that's why I would not change course on Liz. Now, I agree with both of you. As a humanity thing for some other people, if they are like being endeared by the other castaways, I'm like, all right, I should probably do the human thing, because like you just said, Kylie, this is gonna probably matter. Sebastian was well loved. So right.
Spoiler alert for anybody who didn't watch Big Brother Canada last night. This is the exact reason Anthony lost. Yeah. Anthony lost Big Brother Canada because he treated people like shit. He promised them things. He didn't respect them.
Wait, time out. So you're saying that Maria not taking Liz to eat a reward is treating people like shit, or even treating Liz like shit?
Yes.
What?
A little bit. I mean, yes, I think.
I truly think so.
I think
it is disrespect. If you are Liz and you are
disrespect,
yeah, I think it is.
And it's not. But it's not just that she doesn't choose Liz. It is the manner in which she doesn't choose Liz.
Listen, now that was a little dirty, but
I loved it. Maria,
she should have outright chosen Q.
You are.
She should have outright chosen Q.
I love it.
You're not a villain, though. You should have outright chosen Q, though.
She is a villain.
No.
Maria is low-key a villain.
No. No. For not choosing Liz, you're saying the method. She was trying to do the best she can to not come off as a villain, or not be like, just pick Q. She just picked Q. She thought that she was preserving her game by letting it fall into their own hands. But Kylie, I think back to when we were talking to our good friend Brandon Nelson from our Sunday podcast as we cover the Challenge All-Stars Season 4 at 10 p.m. Eastern. When Brandon was there, he was talking about that if he had told Cara Maria that he was voting her in, she would have been able to sway him and change his mind. That's why sometimes you just got to make the move. And Maria agreed, should have just made the move, but she sat there and him and hawed and looked like she was going to let it sway her. I do think Q did the right choice, much better than Maria, when he's like, I'm not taking Liz. Y'all can't switch. I'm not taking Liz. There's no way y'all can get me to take Liz. I'm not taking Liz under no circumstances. I agree with that. That to me was the much better situation on that one. The method. Maria should have just been like, I'm taking Q. And like you said, Kylie, I'm taking Q because Q Q took me last time. So
yeah. Easy conversation. Great TV moment. I'm so glad that that is not the path that she took, because the meltdown from the Applebee's reward literally can probably make like top 10 all-time Survivor moments. Nobody is ever going to forget that moment. But this one sent me because it was on top of the meltdown from last week. I was like, this is too much to even pray for.
It was great.
All right. Let's get into our last point of the night. We could talk about the reward situation forever. But all the little seeds Charlie planted, those aren't going to work this time. Maria is safe. So we got to find somebody else to vote out. And it looks like this is it for Q. I thought for sure this was going to be Q's moment. We're going to see Liz, Venus, Kenzie, and Charlie. We're going to see Charlie not take the direct hit on Maria, but we're going to see him take an indirect hit, and he is going to take out her boy, Q. So, what do y'all think? Whenever this is happening, what do y'all actually think is going to happen? Do y'all think that Charlie was going to take him out, or did you think that it was going to be Venus?
They did a very good job with the edit. I think so. The way Charlie's been talking is as if he wanted to hurt Maria. But I think Charlie understands that an auxiliary shot is not the right way, that he needs to do a direct hit.
Yeah.
And it has to be Maria. He can't take out someone close to Maria. It has to be Maria. So when that became the option, I like you guys both know, and people that watch know, I love to do a ranking of who I think is going to win. Q is so far down the list that it's like almost a waste of time, because none of them like him either, but he's like playing the game, and Maria seems to like him a lot. So it's like, if I take out Q here, now I have to fight Maria, right? We got to throw the gloves down. We are bare knuckle boxing me and Maria if I take out Q and blindside her.
So going into tribal council, and so spoiler alert, we've been having bad weather in Texas. So in the middle of tribal council, they cut in severe weather alert. I do not see who is voted off. I have to go to the Twitterverse to figure it out. And I was so dead convinced that Q was going home here, because I really, really thought Charlie was going to make the move, because I don't think that Maria necessarily really likes Q. I think Maria sees Q as, a pawn in her game.
An asset.
And so I was like, I think Charlie is going to take out Q, and I think he can still repair things with Maria. And so I was like, this is it. He is going to do this. And then the girls feel great about him, and he doesn't care about Q, and he can still repair things with Maria. So I thought that was, I went so far as whenever I scored the episodes for our draft that we do, I had already given Venus points for surviving the week. That is how convinced I was that Q was going home.
So I was where you were, Kylie, minus the fact that I don't believe that he wanted to repair things with Maria. I think that if he was going to take that shot, I think his next shot was Maria. Because I think he realizes quite clearly that he cannot be there at the end with her, and which is where I come around to where Kevin actually started this conversation around. He made a choice not to do it because for two reasons. Number one, Venus was being shady and told him, oh, I've got this weird special something going on. And he basically said, well, I can't trust that. If she's not willing to tell me about it, I'd rather work with people I know I can trust than with her. And number two, if he's going to take the shot, better not take a shot at the jester. Better take the shot at the queen.
Yeah. On top of that, you were asked, Kylie, going into this question, did I think it was going to be Venus or Q? Going into tribal, I thought it was Venus, and for these two reasons. The one that Sheldon just mentioned in terms of him talking to her, because he's trying to lock in a 4. Because I'm looking at you in the face, Venus, and I'm telling you, I'm about to give up all the plans I already have laid. So, in order for me to do that, I need to trust that this new plan with you is going to work. You got something up your sleeve. Is it like an idol or something? The advantage? Oh, you won't tell me, bruh. I was about to give my whole life for you. You know what I'm saying? I was about to be real committed to you. I was about to tell you I loved you and shit. But you over here being shisty, that's not going to work. That was one. And then the second part, and Sheldon, I don't know if you saw this part, when they come back from the pizza and they're talking about doing Venus, Kenzie pulls Charlie to the side and says, so are we really doing the Venus with them? Or what do you want to do? Like, so when she goes to the side and is like, yeah, the girls want Q. We're doing Q. So what are we doing? When that was happening, I was like, oh, Kenzie's with Charlie. Charlie's gonna make this decision. He cannot shoot at Maria directly. So it makes more sense to take out Venus right here, so that way you can line up the shot in secret, like you planned on doing all along.
I don't know. I mean, I still think Charlie ultimately wins this season. Okay, and nothing that I saw last night takes me away from that, because Maria, to me, probably had the second best chance. That is out the window.
That's gone.
So I still think Charlie ends up being the winner of the season, and I'm interested to see how he gets there. But to me, if I am, which I guess everybody ends up voting for Venus, so the point I was about to make is irrelevant, because I forgot about the vote count. But I felt like he could have been okay with taking out Q, because yes, you make nice with Maria immediately after tribal council, like, hey, Q is a dirtbag, and we just all really just wanted him gone. And I think if you lay it out there of like, we just could not live with him one more day on the beach, I think Maria is okay, because then if Maria wins immunity again, you've made nice with her. But then if Maria doesn't win immunity, you can still go through with the rest of your plans. So I feel like the better move was to take out Q.
Yeah. But Venus.
That conversation with Venus, and in Venus's exit press, she even says, I think going into tribal, I had this conversation with Charlie minutes before tribal council, and I think up until that conversation, Q was going home. And I think when I did that I sunk my game, that Charlie switched what he wanted to do, and the rest is history.
I know we're about to talk about our winner picks, but I do want to ask you. Kenzie says something around, I think she was talking with Venus, but around this idea that they believe that if Q's at the end, that he has a chance of winning. Is this just a complete misread? Or was I right from a few weeks ago that they look at him as the guy who everybody doesn't like and everybody thinks is a wild card, and somehow if he slips through all the way to the end, he actually has some real chance to win?
I don't think so. I don't think Q has a chance to win. I hope he does. My gosh. I really, really want Q to win. I don't think he has any chance. And now with Venus out of the game, I think his only chance at winning, no, I don't think he has a chance. Actually, I was going to say is with Ben and Liz, and I don't think he can beat Ben. Ben's liked, and he's not. I don't think he can beat Ben. His only chance was to be there with Venus and Liz, and he voted out his chance.
Yeah,
which he had no choice. It was him or her. So, again, actually, I don't know. Venus should have just kept her damn mouth shut. She played we've had the debate of should you tell someone about an idol, should you not tell someone about an idol. She played it the exact wrong way, in that she hinted at it and then didn't tell. And so I think you've either got to fully commit one way or the other. You've either got to tell someone and try and garner that trust, or you got to just keep your damn mouth shut. And I would have gone with keep your damn mouth shut.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. The thing is, though, Venus was never going to win this game. Like that's like I don't know. Like
What'd you say?
Venus was never going to win this game. Like I mean, it's just
Right.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Venus had been voted out last night if she had
no.
And then not told.
Correct. No, correct. No, the reason I say the Venus is not going to win the game because it's like even if she like plays the idol masterfully, like I mean she doesn't win this game. Like that's why it's
but
just,
that's
it's
not
so
the
funny.
point, Kevin. The point is this changed what I believe, and seemingly we all believe, is Kevin's path to the end. Because with that, Charlie's path to the end. Because with that, Venus would have been there with him, and as opposed to who the heck knows what that 3 now looks like.
I don't know that for a fact. Like I said, it's the biggest thing is the Maria being safe. If Maria's not safe and he does this move, I think that Venus's idol situation has a lot to do with it. But I think that since it wasn't Maria and since it would have been Q, I don't know that he wants to try to backtrack from that. If Maria, Ben, and because even Ben was like, I don't know if now's the right time for Q. And so it was like, okay, I have to like do the convincing. I go with the girls.
It's absolutely the right time for you to vote Q out.
So like that.
So let me ask you all this question: who is Ben's ride or die? Is it Maria or is it Charlie? And I think it's Charlie.
Does not rock. Ben doesn't choose allies.
But I think that it would be Charlie, and I honestly like this is crazy. But do you remember when Charlie was wearing Ben's leather vest? Like I think it goes back to that. Like
I think it's like when they're sitting there going back between Taylor Swift and
also that
crew or whoever it was.
Yeah, but part of it is, you know how we said how Kylie, you said, well, Maria would forgive Charlie if he would get out Q. I'm not certain she would, but I do believe that Ben would forgive Charlie for voting out Maria if Charlie does it next week without Ben.
I also agree, right? Which is why I think that's why I go back to she couldn't win anyway. Is because I don't think the idol blunder like it was that big of a blunder. It
was a blunder because she went home instead of using it. That's the blunder.
No, the blunder's not playing it. I'm talking about her hinting. I'm talking about the hinting.
She was literally locked in GOAT for final 3. Like
no, I'm talking about the hinting. I'm not talking about the playing. I'm talking not playing. I'm talking about the hinting. I didn't think that changed much. She should have won 100. I don't understand that if you know you're getting votes.
Use the idol.
Why are you going to
idol? Play the damn idol.
If you know votes are coming your way and you have an idol, play it. Hunter knew votes was coming his way. Tiffany at least didn't know votes were coming her way, but she should have expected it. And Venus knew her name was votes were coming her way. She knew that.
Idol. If you found one, you can find another.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that I think is a glaring difference between U.S. Survivor and Australian Survivor. Australian Survivor, they're going to play that shit. They're going to play it.
Even if it's wasted, they don't care.
Even if it's wasted, they have, I would love to see like statistics because I would think that they have a much lower rate of being voted out with them than they do for U.S. Survivor. I think that, especially this season has just skyrocketed those numbers. And I think that it's a debate on whether the previous season that people have seen really affects how they go out to play. I think this season will affect 48. Those people on 48 are going to play the idols as soon as they get them.
Yep.
Agreed.
How about our winner picks? What do y'all think now?
Well, my second winner pick, Charlie, feeling great. He's going to win.
My third winner pick, Maria, not looking so hot, but it's only because I had to pick after Kylie because I would have picked Charlie anyway. So
if I were to do Kevin's ranking, my winner pick, Kenzie, is number 2, to Charlie, number 1. However, I really do believe that Charlie is so far ahead of Kenzie, and last night was, for me, not a good night for Kenzie. Not only was it post blindside, not only does she seem to be reliant on Charlie to make like I feel like Kenzie had a bad night.
Yeah, I really, really agree, Sheldon. And another thing that we did not mention is we see Ben put a vote on Kenzie, which seems a little bit shocking. Like, oh, I thought Ben and Kenzie are close.
Yep.
But he obviously put the vote on Kenzie with not knowing what Venus's advantage was. And if Venus negates all of the votes somehow, and
Kenzie's gone.
Yeah.
It's between Q and Kenzie.
The backup plan. So not looking so great for Kenzie.
So
which is perfect for Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
So let's go back to my rankings. I love to do a ranking. Right now, I have new bottom of the barrel, Liz. Now Q. Now Maria. She's tumbled far down.
I think you have to switch Ben and Maria.
Well, I have Maria, then Ben, then Kenzie, then Charlie, because I think Ben's in the final should be in the final three.
Kenzie, then Charlie.
Then Space.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge separation. It's like this to me. Like you've got Liz, you can't see her down here. Okay.
Why is she on her knees? What's going on? She's begging for food.
Q's here. Okay. To me, Ben, and this is based on the edit, not necessarily based on what's happening at the island. Ben, he's here. You don't see his ass either. Literally. Okay. And then you've got Maria.
There we are in frame. We're in frame now.
We're in frame. Maria, she's played a good game. If she gets to the end, I think she would have a chance to win. Once again, based on the edit, it ain't happening. Then you've got Kenzie.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the right scenario of you lose Charlie and Maria, Kenzie wins. And then you've got Charlie. He's out of the frame too.
At the top.
Like it is such a massive separation between Charlie and Liz. It's not even funny.
The only reason I have Ben and Maria flipped in mind is because they're openly talking about Maria needs to go, and there's no like love loss about it. No one's like sad about it. No one's like seemed to be questioning it. She won immunity, therefore she's still here. That's kind of it. Whereas Ben's not being talked about. I think he's going to be in the final three, which is the only reason he's higher. But that's the only reason.
I completely agree with Kylie. My only question is if Liz is at the bottom or second from the bottom, because at least Liz has one resume move. And that is Tevin.
Q's got resume moves. Nobody likes Q's resume.
Exactly.
I don't think people. I think people don't like Q more than. Yeah, I think Q's hated more than Liz. So I don't know. Who's the real bottom?
I can guarantee you that's not the case because Q's eaten twice and Liz is not eating at all.
But he's only eaten twice as an asset.
That's
more than Liz has.
That's still more than Liz.
Liz has eaten none. All right.
Well, look, we all know hashtag who gives a fuck about Liz.
There you go. That sums it up. What, 2 episodes left, y'all?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I have thoroughly enjoyed the ride. It was a little bit rough there at the beginning. The Banu episodes are hard to get through. I recommended to a friend today that hasn't been watching this season that he catch up because I think that this season would be great to watch on a binge, like where you only have to deal with Banu for like one day. But dealing with him for that many hours was rough. But since then, I have thoroughly enjoyed it. The post-merge has been really, really fun to watch. And I'm super excited for the next episode because Q said he is tired of laying low. He is ready to cause some more chaos. And I don't even know what it could be at this point in time, but I can't wait.
Big mistake.
I can't wait.
Big mistake.
It is going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see what this man does. I wish that he comes back for every season. I don't want to have to wait till 50 to see Q play again. I want to see him play on 47, 48, 49, and 50 because I think he gives you something new every single time he plays.
I disagree. I'd like to see him again, but not that soon. I'm okay. I need a Q break. I will say we had some really great news in reality TV with Big Brother premiere set for Wednesday, July the 17th. Another late start, but hey, it's coming.
No, I think it's a little bit earlier than it has been.
Wednesday, July 17th. It's earlier than last year, yeah, but like still later than mid to late June, which is what I prefer.
Truth.
And I'll be going to Wendell and Bryce's party next week in Philadelphia.
When is that?
It is Wednesday.
So you'll be back here on Thursday to give us the scoop?
I'll try to be. There's no guarantees, but I'll try to be.
We need our roving reporter. I'm gonna send you a press pass.
And you have a good time hobnobbing it with the survivors and the Big Brother people that'll probably be there.
Do you have anyone you guys want me to say something to from this cast? Because I think they'll probably be there. A lot of them will probably be there.
Tell Venus we'll go for coffee.
Tell
Venus, let her know.
Mother. Okay. Look, at the end of her interview with Rob, I don't know if y'all listened to it. Rob wished her a happy Mother's Day because she's mother.
So one thing I did want to say, I know Kylie, you don't like when they bring things outside of the game into the thing, but in Venus's goodbye speech when they were showing all the votes, she did say one thing: women, life, freedom, which is basically a call for rights for women in Iran. She's an Iranian woman in Canada. I live in a community with a lot of Iranians. I see these things all around, and I find it really beautiful and nice. So I will give her a lot of love.
I don't think there's anything wrong with what Venus did. I thought it was,
Okay, good. Well, okay. Anyways, I just thought it was really nice and beautiful, and hell's yeah, she showed off what it's
I
like.
would have loved to see Venus play again. I don't think it's going to happen.
I wish we could see
I think
Venus.
They're probably real pissed at her in the old Survivor, NDA, but that's okay.
Why? What did she do?
She's talked a lot on Twitter. Not necessarily any spoilers, but definitely she has gone in on some folks. And I would imagine that they probably aren't real happy with Liz, but I hope we see her back again because what a little firecracker.
I don't know if I want to see another firecracker that has a bad game. I'd rather a firecracker with a good game.
Well, sure. Those are fun too. All right. Well, we will be back next Thursday to talk about the penultimate episode of Survivor 46. Can't wait for it. And Kevin and I will be here on Sunday, hopefully joined by Brandon, to talk about the latest episode of The Challenge All-Stars 4. Last week we saw Brandon get voted out and get eliminated. Womp, womp, womp. But still a really good and entertaining season. So I'm excited to continue to talk about it.
Agreed. And also check out my podcast, Justice for Dean Thomas, talking about Harry Potter stuff. Check that out. And like you said, Brandon Nelson should be joining us once again. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m.
Central.
Texas. And join us as we talk to him about the latest episode of The Challenge All-Stars 4.
All right. And we will see you guys next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.